Welcome to For $1 Billion More podcast. I'm Ram. I've invested in 25 odd startups, raised money for a few, and scaled a bunch of them. In season 1 of this podcast, I interviewed a bunch of founders and investors in the startup ecosystem. In season 2, I'm sharing my own perspectives. When I interact with founders, be it on LinkedIn or through some networking events, I've often seen them struggle with giving a very crisp explanation about who they are, what they are doing. Some of them are way too technical. We are into embedded finance, or we are a blockchain startup, or something like that. And the investor may not get it. And worse, he may not ask you further questions to understand better. He may just move on. I've seen some of the founders go into a long monologue of, we are a bunch of friends and engineers. We met X years back and we tried this, which didn't work. And now we're trying to do blah, blah, blah. Gosh, man, you just lost me at the 30-second mark. So how do you deliver a good elevator pitch? How do you grab the attention of the investor and force him to ask more questions? One solid template I learned from a few accelerator programs goes something like this. We help customers like Dash address Dash through Dash. The reason our product is significantly better than traditional approach is Dash. Okay. Let me walk you through that. We help customers like Dash. Now, here is where you explain the persona of your target customer. Urban versus rural, it's an SME firm, it's a digitally savvy consumer or a housewife or a CTO or whatever it is. These are the kind of customers we help. Address Dash. Now, this is where you talk about the pain point, the growth objective, something which your customers is currently struggling to achieve or get done. Through Dash. This is where you talk about your product, your tech, your platform, business, whatever it is. Then you move on to the reason our product is significantly better than traditional approach is Dash. Now, this is where you cover the key business impact or the value which you're bringing to the table or reasons or USP or whatever it is. If you can say this is X times cheaper or Y times faster, then obviously that's awesome. Now, let me explain this with an example. When I was working with Intelo Labs, we had an AI-driven solution for assessing food quality, and the solution was delivered using a mobile app. The way I would explain our business to investors would be something like this. We help customers like Reliance Retail cut down their food loss by 50% through our mobile app, which assesses food quality using computer vision and AI. Why our product is significantly better than the traditional approach is because it is objective, person independent, and completely scalable. Now, just understand this example. I've talked about a real customer name, which makes it a lot easier for people to relate what kind of businesses I'm trying to sell to. You could also give a description, let's say a large food retailer. I mentioned we cut your losses by 50%. It's a very clear metric I'm talking about. Earlier, we used to say, we impact both top line and bottom line. You can more sales if you ensure better quality, and we impact your bottom line also because we can cut down your losses. But then we realized that the bottom line impact resonated better with customers. And also because you're just trying to entice an investor at the beginning, it's just better to talk about one benefit, hook them, and later you can also always talk about more things, so to say. The idea at the initial conversation is to hook, to engage, to ensure that there is a follow up conversation. I've clearly mentioned what I'm selling is an app or a software solution and talked a little bit about the tech, AI, computer vision, all that good stuff. And then I'm reiterating why our tech or solution is better than the current methods. It is independent of which person has come to look at quality and that it is scalable. Remember, when talking to a new investor, the important thing is to hook him and grab his attention, entice him, make sure there's a follow up discussion. Practice your elevator pitch. The template I've suggested is just one small example. If you can draft something better, that's great. In fact, if you can do it and share with me, that'll be really, really helpful. Thank you so much and best of luck. That brings us to the end of this episode. I'll be back soon. Founders, please share your questions so that I can address them in the upcoming episodes. And don't forget to follow me on this podcast or other social media mentioned in the comments. Thank you.